peppers. Starting point. I'm going to leave my cactus there. They've been there for years, so we'll just leave them there. More than enough space for 2 plant pots. Okay, 2 pots. Got some compost in there. Press down a little bit, not too much because the seeds need some air, some room for the roots to grow. 2 pots. Right, so how do I do it? There we go. Now seeds. I have no idea how old these seeds are, but this one is conventional pepper. So I'm just going to put 2 seeds into this pot. Now, I've also just cut up a red pepper for my family's lunch, so I'm actually going to put those in there as well. Waste not, want not. There we are. I'm just going to push them down gently, cover them with soil, not push them down too far, literally just enough so that the soil can be easily brushed over the top. Just a normal craft or washed ice pole stick or ice lolly stick, and I'm just going to write on here pepper. Now I'm talking about bell peppers rather than sort of sweet peppers or any sort of spicy pepper, so literally just bell peppers, and I'll pop that in the pot. Next one is some tomatoes. And again, I'm going to spread out 4 seeds in here. There's no harm in doing that, and then you remove, once you've got some good growth, which means you've got the first set of real leaves, do exactly the same here, just cover over the seeds. Once you've got the first set of real leaves, you leave the strongest one in there to take over the pot and remove all the others. So there's no harm in starting with a few seeds, give them some room to grow, and then you can pick out the strongest one to continue to grow and grow. So another lollipop stick, and just put in tomatoes. Now I don't know what sort of tomato plant this is, I'm afraid, but the point is it's a good experiment. There we are. So there's my tomatoes and there's my peppers. Now you may want to create a greenhouse effect. Nice simple way to do that. Just a food bag. It will help keep any warmth in and also moisture. The other option, depending on where you've planted your seeds, you can pop a jar over where the seed is. So this will be your little greenhouse, or this will be your little greenhouse. I'm actually going to use 2 bags so that I've got the right amount, that all my seeds covered, because obviously I've spread them out. But if you're just using 1 seed in the centre, a jar like this over that area would be perfect. So you want to have quail. Chickens you think will be too noisy, but quail eggs every day, fresh, would be fabulous for you and your family. This is a small hutch. I will link it down below with all the measurements. It is barely big enough for 1 small rabbit, but in this hutch I can comfortably raise 3 female quail. That is the potential of 3 eggs a day, and that may not seem like a lot, but if you eat 1 or 2 eggs a week, chicken eggs a week, you are covered by your 3 quail, and you get to enjoy the birds as well as actually having the knowledge of what your animals have eaten and how where your eggs have come from. So obviously you need somewhere for them to live, something to feed them in. I use one of these feeders so that they can put their head through and get the food out, but the idea is that they can't kick all the food because they'll kick it everywhere. A waterer, I've got one of these. So it has a little cup and it's just a chicken waterer. I'm starting off with 1 kilogram of Haygate's quail food. You'll need some bedding. I'm actually going to use newspaper and wood chips. Newspaper on the bottom and then wood chips on top. I'll get that started, get that all in, and I will show you the next bit. Newspaper's down. So that's how big it is approximately. 1 paper fully open and 1 paper folded. A nice layer of wood chips all over. Feeder. I'm just going to pop this in the back. There we go. And I'll pop in some food. I've just installed a water bottle and I'll show you how I've done that. Okay, so I've just attached the water bottle to the side here, giving them all of this. Oh, sorry, being attacked by Noodle. Ow, don't bite my leg. Such a monster. Giving them all this open area, and they'll have a closed in area for shelter and for comfort. For quail, you pretty much want to free feed. You don't want to ration their food ever. They need a high protein diet and they need to be able to feed whenever they want to. So I'm just going to fill up this feeder. And close the lid. Then we're going to pop it in. Just pop it back in the back. Okay, go and get the birds. There they are, my 3 girlies. Get them in. Now you might be able to push this small space to 4 birds, but I wouldn't go any more than that. We will need to stay on top of their care. Go straight onto the food. I think I'll move it forward a little. So these 3 have actually been separated from my main flock because they kept being beaten up. But this is perfect to show you how you can start off. There we are, nice and happy, eating away. I'm just going to fill up their water bottle. Okay, so that's you set up. Every day you should get between 2 and 3 eggs. And I say approximately 4 eggs per chicken egg. They are higher in nutrition and I think yummier. Okay, so these guys have been in here overnight. There's some wood chips in their food, but they'll still be able to find them in there because they can just peck through the bits that are on top. That's fine. It's not too dirty in here. It could certainly be cleaner, but obviously animals poop. And there we go, our first egg in this hutch. Obviously they've had 1 night in here, but they've also been in this hutch for a little while. So yesterday I would have collected up eggs when I cleaned out this hutch. So there we go. 24 hours. I've got 3 eggs, 1 this morning and 1 now. Thanks guys. You're having a dust bar. Oh, there's another one. So 4 eggs. So 1 was obviously would have been yesterday's, and that's today's.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18.
Thank you! So I finally had enough, and I have reattached the automatic waterer, or the gravity waterer, but I also did a bottle as well, just to make sure they always had multiple places to drink from. It will give them a lot more floor space because they won't have the waterers all over the place. Yeah, I think they'll be happy. After I reinstalled the automatic waterers, I found this little clip, and I just have to ask, how would you caption this clip? Leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. this little cutie. I've set him up with some house outside. We're going to see if he likes it. He started flying around the entire house, so at some point I have to stop him doing that. Just now we found him behind a door. I don't want him getting hurt. So Noodle has been locked up back in her area, and me and this little one are going to go and try out his house. So the house means that he can get in and out if he wants. Just by the back door. I will shut that door on it, at least for now. But food and nest and perch are all in there, and we'll just see if he likes it. Fingers crossed. So he's got cover to protect him from the rain. And I mean, if the weather gets bad, I will always let him back in, but for now we'll let him sort of get settled in. He can get through the bars, or she can get through the bars. So it will now be up to the sparrow whether he stays or off he goes. Like I said, food is still here. And I know there's a lot of sparrows near and around my garden. We'll see what happens with him, and I will keep you updated. Sunday morning, I'll just do a quick clean up of everyone, a quick tidy up, pick up the wet bits, any sort of soil bedding. Sparkle is definitely a chewer, and I knew this. She's been pulling up all the sort of outer bits of the bottom of the hutch. Today I find this. That is a hole all the way through to the bottom hutch. So I'm going to have to fix that somehow. Now she's due to give birth in, I think, 2 weeks, give or take. And she's going to need somewhere to live, and this is really the only option. These are my large hutches. So I am going to take this and put it down, and hopefully she'll chew on that for a bit. I can only cross my fingers. But I might end up getting the wire bottom cages that everyone raves about. Not that that was the plan, but I'm going to have to do something to stop her chewing on everything. You're naughty. Ancha, yes. Okay, there we go. It's all in place. I will obviously take out the hammer. I did a bit of a boo-boo. I stapled my hand, but that'll hold for now. She is chewing the wood I've just added, which will last a bit longer than the actual hutch, so that's good. Still nothing from these four. They've got some yummy food to munch on, so they're happy, but still no babies. Although even Carla is looking a bit round now, so it's exciting. It looks like we're going to get babies from all four. The lice seem to have all cleared up. I will continue to treat. I've got one more of the 3-week cycle to do next Thursday, and then I will stay on top of it. Once a month I will treat with ivermectin to stay on top of it, just in case there are any eggs. But everyone looks good. Everyone looks happy. Everyone's got breakfast. It's a good day. There's always those that have to go in from the top. That's why there is a lid. But let's scoop those guys out. 1, 2, 3. And you can see how these, well, it's not really no waste because they do flick it about a little bit, but there is better ways to make it. But you just cut holes in the side of a container like this, big enough for them to stick their head through, but not big enough for them to kick everything about. Pop on a lid. Pop on a lid. And there we are. We can all gather around and eat. Like that. Perfect. So one night outside, Sprinkles is doing just fine, comfortable, eating, all good. So he decided to fly off. He's just at the end of the garden. I don't know if he'll come back or if he'll be quite happily out there, but I'm going to shut Noodle's door because I don't want him flying around here and potentially getting snapped up. Yeah, he looks good. Please wish Spinkles all the best of luck, and I hope he enjoys his freedom. Well, that's one job done, and I'm very pleased with it. It's a good feeling, even if it is a little bit sad that he has gone. Anyway, thank you for joining us this week on Mini Farm SM1. I really do appreciate you. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up and do comment. I'd love to hear how you'd caption that quail clip. That would be fantastic. Thanks again. See you soon. Bye.